Hi everybody, I'm Nate Eaton with EastIdahoNews.com. Thank you for joining us for this conversation with Steve Herzog. He is currently the prosecutor in Bannock County, running unopposed for a second term. Thank you for coming up here, sir, today. We appreciate you talking with us.
My pleasure.
Those candidates that have a candidate running against them, we're giving 60 seconds to give an opening statement. Is there anything that you'd like to say to the public to maybe introduce yourself?
Well, I've been obviously in office now for 4 years almost, and it's been a great learning experience. It's been an adventure, and it's something I think you need 4 years to get the hang of it. And I'm ready to do another 4.
What would you say has been the biggest thing you've learned during your first term?
Probably managing an office, just all the details that go into that and all the personalities and trying to keep everyone happy and productive and wanting to come to work.
A lot of people imagine a prosecutor of going in front of a judge every day and arguing cases, but there's so much more to your job. Describe some of those things that maybe the public doesn't know about that you're doing every day.
Well, the elected county prosecutors are the legal representatives for the county as a whole. So we represent all the department heads. We have a dedicated prosecutor that does all civil work, contract stuff, employment, discipline, helping the commissioners do their jobs. I mean, it's a real broad footprint, and it's a lot more than one person can do. So you need to have, again, getting back to capable, happy, productive folks, it's really important.
What are some of the goals you have for your second term?
We've been kind of developing and expanding our victim services. Right now, our victim witness coordinator's looking at getting a service dog that would be kind of an in-house dog that would be trained to, especially for children, victims of crime, that they could interact with the dog at the courthouse, and it's proven that they have a calming effect and help adults and kids kind of handle the stress of court better. So expanding our victim services, we have 2 pending cold case homicides that are set for trial that'll probably run into next year, my next term. And continuing to develop, we've been working really hard on interacting regularly with local law enforcement to do cross trainings and just to keep communication open between our office and local law enforcement.
One of the issues that the county is dealing with is the jail. Being overcrowded and not having enough space for these criminals or accused criminals. And from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes are they being charged with lesser crimes so that they don't need to be held, or are they just releasing them from the jail because there's no room?
Well, what we're trying to do, if you look at like felony cases, there's probably a time when you'd ask for a bond that at some particular level. And now we're going back and trying to be really conscientious about making sure when we ask for a bond that we really need the amount we're asking for, as opposed to releasing someone on their own recognizance and a promise to appear in the future. So keeping them out of the jail when they don't really need to be there. If they're not a flight risk, for example, they don't need to be sitting in jail. So we're trying to, on our end, to keep the people out of the jail pending resolution of their cases if it's appropriate.
Have you run into any issues as a prosecutor?
Where you've agreed to let someone out?
Yeah, and they haven't come back, or?
Yes, yep.
And how does that impact your job?
Well, it's hard to judge people. You can look at the facts, you can kind of go, all right, I'm willing to agree if the judge will, to lowering your bond or ORing you. But sometimes your judgment, is wrong, mm-hmm. and they take off. It doesn't happen very often, but I'm always very thankful when they're recovered and no more crimes have been committed while they're out. So it's a judgment call.
So you're hoping that bond passes to get the new facility?
Yeah, I think it's really important for our community to have more room. And I think ideally there's been talk about making space for some kind of drug treatment, a little more drug treatment while you're incarcerated. But I think it's an important thing. I know it's expensive and a lot of people don't want to build more local jails, but the fact is that local jails are picking up a lot of the folks that otherwise may have been in prison. You know, they're in diversion courts now. And if you have a problem in diversion court, you go to Bannock County Jail for a sanction. So rather than going back to prison. So we're seeing, I think, more people in the local jail because of the efforts we're making through diversion courts, which are great. Yeah. But we need more room.
Yeah. Why should people vote for you? Why are you the man for the job?
Well, I think I've done a good job assembling an office. I've been really fortunate in the hiring that we've done. So I like to think I have a good eye for hiring really good people. And the office isn't about me, Nate. It's about the people who work in the office. I just happen to be the person kind of at the top who, for better or worse, gets to make decisions about who to hire, or, you know, different approaches to maybe how we're interacting with law enforcement or victims. So I think I've had a good 4 years. I've learned a lot, and I would really like to go forward and apply and continue to kind of develop some new ideas for the office.
Mr. Herzog, thank you very much. Running for a second term as Bannock County Prosecutor, running unopposed. We appreciate your time.
Correct. Thank you very much.